All morning so far. But again, we spoke about how the adults bring the youngsters in. Well, here's a real ham radio ripple effect story for you. Bob, where are you? He's helping set. Okay, Bob, as a young man, KA2 PBT, lived on Staten Island where I do. And as a young man, he was helping me with all the contacts that we made with the space shuttles. He was part of a group that was very instrumental. Then he grew up and moved away, and he contacted me recently and said he was involved with supporting a technical high school in New Jersey. And he and Kevin Murray, K2FM, are the two adults that are involved in this story. I walked into something I never expected. I wrote a column about it, how suddenly two schools appeared, technical high schools in Warren, New Jersey, amateur radio, part of the curriculum in one of the schools, robotics in another. I was just loving it. And by the end of what I was originally called there for that day, I knew I had some presenters lined up for Dayton today. So my personal thanks to these two gentlemen for all that they do. And the next two presenters, the young lady, always happy to emphasize that, is Devlin Murray, KC2PIX. She's 19, and she got into the car with her dad apropos of nothing except we were picking her up. We picked her up from work as I was being taken to the high school, and I was just so impressed with her. I said, oh, wow, Dayton. And not only did I invite her to come with Chris Blackwood, KD2CXC, who's 16 years old, to do this fabulous demonstration for you. I'm going to invite you all to go to the RCA booth 225, and I promise you, if you haven't smiled since you've been here yet, you will leave this hamvention with such a big ear-to-ear smile when you see what these kids have got set up at the booth. And this is one of the activities that RCA Youth Activities, my committee would be supporting something like this. And you'll be missing a lot if you do not go to see these kids do their thing at the booth. But they're going to do a little for you here now as well. But those were the two who got me involved with these kids. And there are a number of you here. How many did you actually bring with you? How many kids are actually here?
We came down with 9 hams, 2/3 of which cannot drink yet.
9 hams, 2/3 of which can't drink yet. Never heard it phrased quite that way. Thank you. And I also want to mention that Devlin was the recipient through RCA at an RCA breakfast in Las Vegas of the IWCE Scholarship Award. And she and her dad got to go to Las Vegas. I'm not going to mention all the things that could happen as a result of being a presenter here, but take it from me, there's a lot of nice opportunities that open up for these youngsters, some of which are brand new every year that keep happening. So be a good talent scout, and if you know any kids, it's a wonderful opportunity thanks to support from a lot of different organizations and people. So again, make sure you fill out a prize card. We're going to soon say no more. You have a question?
Yeah, the RCA booth number again.
225 is the RCA booth. Be sure to stop by, I promise you. Look for those green shirts. It's phenomenal what they will have set up there. Okay, you guys ready to go? Okay, this is Devlin Murray and Chris Blackwood, and I know you're going to love this.
Hello there. The title of our presentation is Combining Robotics, Amateur Radio, and Emergency Services. So, my name is Devlin Murray. Both of my parents were hams. My dad, K2FN, and my mom, N2WTQ. So it was rather inevitable that I would get my ham license. And I did when I was 12. And the year after, I went to a Girl Scout career day. And that was the day that I decided that I was going to be an engineer, and I have not looked back. When I got the opportunity, I went into the engineering class at the high school, which was Introduction to Engineering. And then that class was a prerequisite for Principles of Engineering, which was the robot class. And that was when I discovered FIRST. FIRST is a program, an organization that stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, which is to get kids into STEM careers. The program that we went into was the FIRST Robotics Competition, which is high school level, and there are teams all over the world doing really cool things. And real quick, just out of curiosity, can anyone raise their hand if they've been on a team or heard of a team, know of someone in a team?
Excellent.
Okay, quite a few people here. I have seen into both organizations really well, and there is a complete similarity in mindsets here that any ham would really like. So, and this was our coach, Dave Rader, who was amazing. For the FIRST robotics competition, teams are given 6 weeks from learning what you have to do to no more touching, you're done building. And as in their own words, they give us not enough time, not enough money, not enough experience, and we do it anyways because we don't know better. And these are robots that we've had one that could reach 12 feet high, built by people who are still in algebra class. And this is an example of a game field one year. What they did was they kind of made a version of soccer, except it had 4 goals and 12 balls. They like to twist sports. And during robot season, all you do is eat, sleep, and breathe robots. I did the math. In 4 years at that high school, I had a school year in the shop. 7 hours a day, 180 days in that room. Because this program is completely astounding. And currently I want to be an industrial engineer, and I have built 4 robots before even applying to engineering school. And it's incredible, the opportunities. And the number of people in this that get together is so cool. There's a motto that everyone in FIRST lives by called gracious professionalism, which is where you respect everyone there, and the benefit for you is competing against others, not winning, but sharing the experience. So you have teams that are completely willing to just go and help someone else at competition. Oh, you broke a part here, take ours. You need some help, sure. And I have seen this mindset in hams too. I have never met a ham who does not want more hams, who will not talk your ear off if you seem like you have the slightest interest in it. And FIRST is the same way, the sharing, the working together. And also similar, both hams and people in FIRST are easy to spot in a crowd. And I would go with that is actually crazier than anything I've seen here so far. So our team was Team 219, Team Impact. And here's a picture of us with our robot. This is the year that we won a Xerox Creativity Award. And the white blob in the center of the picture, that is a car airbag that we mounted on the top of our robot so that it had the ability to flip over carefully without breaking any of the electronics. These are people who also build things out of whatever they have lying around. And laundry baskets. And here's me with my first robot. And I'd like to stress, though, that these are people who have no experience at all in anything. I had no idea that when I joined this class that I would come out a programmer. Didn't even occur to me, but now I'm fluent in 3 languages. And we learn how to do it the right way. And this is a bit of wiring that I think is a really cool picture because it shows that this was done by students. This was completely done by people who are still in high school, who have never had a college engineering class, who have not even necessarily gotten out of algebra class yet. And they are building awesome robots. And one of the particular challenges from 3 years ago is, along with a robot that was able to manipulate inner tubes, you could get bonus points by having a smaller robot on your robot that could be deployed to climb up a 10-foot pole and push the button on the top. And this was called a mini-bot. And of the 60 teams at competition, we were one of about only 5 or 6 who had a functioning mini-bot. And I have a picture of it here, and here as well, that it would grab onto the pole, and it would pretty much just walk itself up. And we were proud of ourselves on this, but I'd like you to keep that in mind. Just hold that in the corner of your head. And I'm going to transfer over to Chris here, and he's going to explain how we took what we did and applied it to a real-world situation. So, Chris?
Hi guys, my name is Chris Blackwood, Kilo Delta 2, Charlie X-Ray Charlie. I have been a ham since October in 2012, and I became a ham because I was interested in homebrewing and building things. And as I was watching Gary's presentation, it's pretty funny. It just sparked a lot of memories because that's what I like to do. I'd always play with Legos and stuff, and then one day I discovered the internet, and somehow I got into electronics, and then I started building transmitters. And all that was fun, but it kind of lacked one aspect, which I thought was really important. And that's that I didn't really have any other people to share my interest with. And when I found out about the first team at my school, it was great, and I joined it immediately. Because now there were other people that had the same passion for building things that I did, and it was really great. And I also met a lot of other people through this program, including some other hams. Now, around the same time this happened, Hurricane Sandy also hit us. And it caused a ton of massive destruction, as we all know. And the FCC reported that 25% of cell phone towers were taken out by the storm. We had no communications. Many people were left without food and water. And in order to care for these people that didn't have the shelters because they were taken away by the storm, many people would create distribution centers for food and water. Now, where I'm from, in New Jersey, in Phillipsburg, we created a distribution center for water. And there's a need for effective communications to transfer all the traffic and coordinate who needs what needs to go where. But we soon noticed a problem because the hams that were there, they were using vehicle-mounted VHF antennas, and they were not able to get the range necessary, and they ended up needing to use relay stations. Now, as we were looking around the parking lots, we noticed something, and that's that there are these light poles everywhere. They're about 30 feet tall. And, wouldn't it be great if you just put an antenna right at the top of that? There would be towers everywhere. And we were thinking about it, and well, how would you get the antenna up to the top of there? And then it hit us. Minibot, excuse me. And so what we created was the emergency antenna platform system to quickly deploy HF and VHF antennas. And we've been able to do that within a couple minutes as we've tested. And with this, you can bring communications to where it's needed quickly and effectively. Now, we had a few requirements for the project. As it had to carry antennas, it had to be able to carry about 10 pounds. We didn't want it to require tools because we wanted it to be very easy to use, very easy to set up. And we also wanted this project to be open source, where we would put the plans online so that anyone could build it. And we do have it on our website, if you'd like to check. Do we have that on our record? Yeah. Stop by at our booth if you'd like to see more information on that. But another requirement would be to work on most light poles. And we were examining a lot of different light poles, and it seems that they range from 9 to 3 inches from the taper. So we made the robot with spring tension, so it's able to accommodate many different poles. And it also had to be low cost, of course. Now, we applied some of the things we learned from the first program. We used the engineering design loop, where we identified the problem, we researched, and then we found solutions. And then eventually we created a prototype and we tested it until we have a final product, which is working nicely. And here's some of our earlier tests. On the left here, you can see, this is an earlier version. We had the antenna on the higher side, which we later found out to be not good. So we later moved it to the other side, see on the right, that's a later version. And we ended up with the final version. Pull the video, where is it? Thank you. You were coming in about 5 and 7. We're here in the state of New Jersey. The name here is Chris. We are
Whiskey Charlie 2, Foxtrot Delta, W4ZLU.
W4ZLU, is this correct?
That's QSL.
How you doing? The name here is Chris. We are currently testing an antenna. It's an emergency antenna. As part of the youth program, we're going to Dayton, Ohio for the Hamvention this year. We'll be going. And I'd like to thank, well, there were a lot of people that helped us with this project. There was Kevin Murray, K2FM. If you guys want to stand up, no. There's Rob Rochins. K2PBT, Nick Moore, KC2VWI. And there were a plethora of other young people that helped us, now young hams. What, you want me to say your names?
Each and every one.
And finally, I'd like to thank Carol Perry for making this possible.
Take it off. Head around.
You guys want to provide a demonstration?
Yeah.
You got time?
Are they gonna run this one up and down?
Do we have time?
Are you going to do this one up and down?
Yeah.
Do we have time?
You do it here?
We're gonna bring our group up and then we're gonna run it up and down for you.
Okay, also at their booth, 225, the RCA booth, that's where they're all set up, and you can ask them questions, get a little bit more information from them, because I am just in awe at what you guys have done. Those of you who are thinking about ordering the recording of this, it will be worth it just to get this, what you're seeing here on it. That's something you're going to want to look at and share with a lot of people, hopefully. But these kids are phenomenal, all the presenters. By the way, this is a good time. This was the last of the young presenters. We've got some older presenters coming up. Experienced, thank you, presenters coming up. But let's have a big round of applause for all of the kids right now. Okay, get your cameras ready.
Something you want to talk about, Chris?
We're fine with this.
Come see us at the booth.
Check, yeah, check.
Just check.
No, the motor in the box is working. You're good there. Just check it at the vehicle. Check the connection at the vehicle.
For the record, I am not.
It sounds low voltage to me.
He's got his meter. These are hams. There we go.
Don't be under it. Oh. That's good, Chris. Quit while you're ahead. Ooh, it's okay.
Okay, we're going to let Jerry wants to feel it hands-on.
Oh, there you go.
This is Jerry Leary that I spoke with you about before from the Unseen Bean, and he wants to experience it by touching it. That's a picture. But again, if you want to see that in person and ask the individual kids questions, 225 is the RCA booth, and they're there next to us, and the kids themselves will be there to explain what they did and how they did it. Devlin and Chris, outstanding job. Outstanding. Thank you.
All right.